So I get to talk about something fun, which is good, something I kind of really like. I'm a big fan of the Hellraiser franchise, particularly the first two, but I don't mind the third, and I think the fourth was okay as well. After that, I think it gets a bit shit, let's put it that way, which is unfortunate because I think Hellraiser just has so much potential to create so many disgusting and horrifying and brilliant horror movies. But unfortunately, with franchises like this, it's not always in the right hands. So, the Hellraiser reboot, the 2022 movie, was pretty good, to be honest. I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect. I think there was a lot more that could be done with it. But if that means, that movie gets a bigger budget and they can go a bit more extreme, which I think the movie needed. I didn't think it was horrific or gory enough. Didn't quite give me that kind of horrible dread feeling of the Cenobites and this world outside our world, this hell world that we don't know exists, and all these disgusting people who have these carnal wants and their deadly sins, and how these are manipulated into doing all this horrific stuff and getting turned into Cenobites. And the Hellraiser franchise, I think, just has this kind of, I don't know what the word is, but it's kind of like a cosmic dread to it, which I love. And I think they don't explore it enough. I think the first two movies are perfect. I think they are absolutely terrifying and freaky in all the right ways. And the reboot was okay. It was good. So I'm just looking at this because, are we getting a sequel? That's the question. And we got a screen around here and it says, Hellraiser 2 prospects get a hopeful response from Hulu reboot director. So director David Bruckner discusses the possibility of a sequel. Okay. Oh, that's correct as well. Jamie Clayton as the iconic villain Pinhead. So it was kind of, I don't know what gender they say it is, but it looked like a female Pinhead, and it was fine. It wasn't too much of a big deal to me. I was like, okay, it's fine. Probably could do more of it, I think, but it was fine. It wasn't anything that ruined the film. So, there's the worst thing we can see. Bruckner says he's not heard any news about a sequel being greenlit. So, let's have a look. So comicbook.com, which I do have here, but I'm just going to, so that's the original scoop on it. But I am just going to read this one because it's got a bit more chat about this, which is probably more interesting. So comicbook.com, go check that interview out. Recently published a quote from David Bruckner about Hellraiser on the week of the movie's first anniversary. So it's been a year since the movie came out. He revealed he hasn't heard about any progress on that front. However, he shared that, I certainly hope there's a future there. And the quote he's given is, we've been wanting to hear from the audience, and I don't know yet, but I certainly hope there's a future there, so we will see. I think that's it, actually. I think the only thing comicbook.com says that he'd be honored to return to the property. So, yeah, he made the film, and he would love to go back. And I don't have a problem with him going back as director, because I think he did a decent job. And if you can expand on that, then yeah, all power to him. A bit of a weird one, though. It says, we've been wanting to hear from the audience. Well, I mean, they kind of go on here as well. It looks like, about the Rotten Tomatoes score. So 66% tomato score, can't quite match the original Hellraiser, 70%. But that's pretty close. Yeah, so it's the second highest rated Hellraiser movie. So not bad. I mean, it's very rare you do get horror movies that are like 80% plus, you know what I mean? And that's fine. I think most horror fans don't really care about the scores. We just care that it's a good horror, that we enjoy it. It tickles all those kind of aspects of why we watch these type of movies. And I think it wasn't bad. It was getting there, it's so much potential to it. So it says here, while it wasn't necessarily a runaway hit for Hulu, the Hellraiser ending leaves room for a follow-up. And the movie stream ratings also showed relatively strong audience interest. According to the Nielsen streaming metrics for the week of its release, Hellraiser was the number 8 movie of the week with 248 million minutes viewed. Okay, I'm going to calculator. I'm so bad at maths, so I apologize if this isn't the way to calculate how many people watched it in the week. So 248 million, right? So that's minutes. So we want hours. So divide by 60, right? So we've got 4.133 million minutes. Okay? So then the movie's 120 minutes long. So 2 hours. Divide by 2. So according to my calculations, which it's probably wrong, you can tell me actually what the number of people who watched it were that week. Over 2 million people. That sounds pretty good, I would think, for a new horror on something like Hulu. I mean, I don't have Hulu, but, you know, for such a, I wouldn't say as mainstream a video streaming platform like Hulu, that's probably good. I mean, it says number 8 movie of the week on all streaming platforms. So that's probably pretty good when you think about it. And it does say that, you know, it was only on there for 1 week and then it dropped off. It says no other Hulu title appeared on the list for the end of 2022. So it was a good movie for them. It does go on to say, unfortunately for Hellraiser, the higher performing franchise movie Prey, haven't seen that yet, which stayed on the chart for 3 weeks in August, hasn't been officially greenlit for a sequel either. This could indicate that Hulu isn't using these streaming chart metrics to drive their decision-making for their genre franchises, and it remains to be seen if they agree to produce a sequel to the supernatural horror reboot. But the fact that a year has passed since the original movie isn't necessarily a good sign. Well, I don't know, to be honest. In this article, I mean, for a movie that didn't do too well, they've released a DVD version in the UK back here where I am. So I would think if it wasn't good enough, then that's a lot of money to waste to print a load of DVDs, even if it is just in the UK. So I think there is a lot of, here's the front cover. I'm not sure I'm liking that front cover. It does look really cheap, actually, doesn't it? It does look like a real B movie, which is a shame because it's actually really good. Or it's good. I won't say really good. It's good. But yeah, they released it in the UK, so it must have an audience. And 2 million in a week is pretty good. I could see this having a bit of a cult following. I'm definitely up for it. So hopefully, when he says we've been wanting to hear from the audience, well, here I am, and hopefully here you are. And hopefully it filters back to Hulu or whoever, and they greenlit a sequel. I mean, I would think the Hellraiser name franchise, if whoever owns it will want to make sequels. Let's put it that way. Whether it's David Bruckner's sequel, which I hope it is, or someone else's, you know, this will not be the last Hellraiser movie. But like I said, I think the reboot was good. I'd like to see it continue. I'd like to see it get more disgusting and violent and creepy and freaky and existential horror or cosmic horror. That's what I want to see. So unfortunately, not the best update, but I'm pretty hopeful. And I hope you guys are too. Let me know what you thought of the Hellraiser reboot. You know, would you like to see a sequel? Maybe you'd like another person or another director to try their hand. If so, is there a director in mind you'd love to see do a Hellraiser movie? That would be cool to know from you guys. So just leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, you know, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Hellraiser 2. Let's cross our fingers that we do get a sequel to this reboot, because there is so much potential with this, with the franchise generally, but, you know, with this reboot, I think we can get some really cool stuff, really good horror. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'll see you next time.